When I go out in the open with this lizard, the first question I always get asked is, what do they eat?
Consuming products of other organisms is just a basic necessity for everyone involved in the animal kingdom, like me and you, but also like my lizard, and your lizard too.
Bearded dragons, they're like us. They are omnivores, where they eat meat and plants. Unless you're vegan. But bearded dragons can't just spend their whole lives eating pizza and burgers like us. Although she would probably eat anything.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
You two better not try eating each other. Oh. Don't eat the frog. Don't eat the frog.
But no, you can't do that. So I'm gonna take a little hike down the food pyramid of bearded dragons with you.
Here's what the food pyramid looks like. I'll go in order from most important to least important.
And show you all the things that they should be eating the most and what they should be eating the least, and then what you should never feed them. Okay, kids, first and foremost, before we get into actual food items that you're familiar with, we have to give the calcium talk.
You will probably not last 2 seconds honing a bearded dragon without hearing about calcium, so let me be the one to introduce you to it.
Basically, if your bearded dragon doesn't eat any calcium, you can get this thing called metabolic bone disease.
If that lizard has metabolic bone disease, you know what happens? Bones. Crushed. Walking. Done for. Death. Imminent.
Hotel Trivago.
But fear not, for if you just... What are you doing? If you follow my lead, imminent death is preventable. This is calcium. You can get it at your local pet store, and it'll literally last you years. I've only had to buy 2 of these in the entire time I've owned my lizard. Okay guys, here's how you use it. So you have the calcium. I always like to have another cup so that I could just dunk the calcium in, right? And then you dunk the food inside. Oh god. Dude, you suck at that. Oh, and what's this, you ask?
No way. Who knew that bearded dragons should be eating the same thing that you should be eating too? But, I think the lizards like it more.
So, for whatever reason, my lizard absolutely loves this hot garbage. It's called a dandelion green. I would not recommend them to eat yourself, but for a bearded dragon, they love that.
Dandelion greens are great for bearded dragons because they're packed with vitamins like vitamin A, D, C, X, Y.
Oh, and of course, it's got that sweet, sweet calcium.
But, say your bearded dragon is like me when I eat dandelion greens and spits it out immediately. Well, that's totally normal. You're gonna have to walk around and experiment a little with what your bearded dragon likes. So some options for you are endives, collard greens, turnip greens, and cactus pad. All of which you can just buy at your local store. So leafy greens are just what adults should be eating most. But as for the younger bearded dragons, so for whatever reason, as soon as bearded dragons pop out of the egg, they're on the grind to become Godzilla as fast as humanly possible. So that means those little guys are not about that vegan plant life. They just want to eat tons and tons of protein. So if your bearded dragon's very small, you probably don't have to worry about them eating leafy greens for a while because they're not even going to want to anyway. But don't be misled, because the adults still need a lot of protein to maintain that Godzilla build. Okay, but protein is very broad. What protein am I talking about?
Bugs. You have to feed them bugs. And yes, they have to be alive. And yes, you have to pick them up. You could use tweezers if you want, but that's for the betas.
And your bugs need to be live. None of this.
So here's some bugs I recommend. These are dubia roaches.
Oh my god, it's a cockroach.
Yes, it is. Give it to them anyway. Okay, actually though, dubia roaches are pretty sick. She agrees. because they're good for them. They have the nutrients. They are easy for them to digest. They have the protein. They're also not like other cockroaches, where they'll escape and they'll breed and they'll destroy everything and they'll eat all your cheese and all your food. Dubia roaches will escape and then die. They can't live in your house on their own. So, you don't have to worry about that. If your bearded dragon is fat and lazy like mine, it's good because they make them exercise because they run around, and then she goes and chases them, so she gets a workout and eats at the same time. Snack time.
Waxworms are another great option, but they're a bit fattier. Hornworms are also great. They're very hydrating, but sometimes when they bite into them, they explode.
It's longer than her head. She's gonna bite the whole thing. No, I don't want to.
Crickets, classic. Can't go wrong. Mealworms, superworms, silkworms, all great. Wouldn't you know I'm fresh out, though. You can find at least one of these kinds of bugs at any pet store, and mix the options up for the best results. So vegetables are more straightforward. You can let them have them often, but not like every single day. Couple vegetables that I'd recommend to feed them.
This little thing loves bell peppers. So angry.
Snap peas. Mine really likes snap peas. Squash, cucumber, and asparagus are also great options. I just don't have any footage of any of these. But in this world, there's a lot of vegetables, so there's a lot of options for you to try. Kind of think of fruit as like dessert because it's so sugary, except there are important nutrients to be had inside them. Fruit is great, just too much is going to make your bearded dragon great, big, and fat. Apples are one of the safer options. They have a lot more nutrients than other fruits, except they still have sugar, so, not on a daily basis. Strawberries, watermelon, blueberries, and grapes are all safe to eat. And of course, there's many, 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 many kinds of fruits that you can try. So here comes this weird category that's kind of between just like toxic and safe. Just like most American snacks. Because all of these food items are safe to eat, they're just not very good for them. First on the list is iceberg lettuce. It's all water, no nutrients, so it will turn your lizard's GI tract into a diarrhea water slide. Try not to give them too much spinach or beet greens. Those leaves have oxalates, and oxalates bind calcium, and we all know what happens when bearded dragons don't get calcium. But honestly, who cares? It's not like they're missing much. Both plants taste like doo-doo anyway. But if you're ever trying to give your lizard something new, just make sure it's not in this category or the next one. So toxic is kind of an exaggeration because some of these foods will only make your lizard blow up from the back door, but some of them can actually kill your lizard, so just listen closely. Let's just start off easy. Try not to give them like processed human food. They're not like dogs where you can just feed them scraps. Anyway, now it's time for some actual individual food items that are naturally occurring that you should not give your lizard. Any and all citrus fruits usually have way too much citrus for them to be digested normally. Don't give them mushrooms, don't give them onions, garlic, tomatoes, eggplants, rhubarb, and avocados can actually kill them, so definitely not avocados. Now I get it. Sometimes you're walking out with your bearded dragon and you're having a little snack and you feel bad because they can't snack on what you're snacking on. So you turn to the ant on the sidewalk. Don't give it to them! Bugs obtained from outside sources likely carry parasites. You do not want little squirmies rolling around in your lizard's stomach.
Their daddy here. Actually, I had a guy go up to me and ask me if she could eat the spiders in my house. And I was like, no, they'll give him parasites. And he was like, oh, just do it anyway. She'll be fine. Just do it anyway. No!
If you ever want to give your lizard a mystery item, just Just Google it really quick. Can my lizard eat blah blah blah? And then just make sure it doesn't, like, kill them.
Closing statements. These are desert animals. As hungry as they are, they actually don't need to eat a lot. So only feed them like once a day if they're an adult, once every other day even. If they're juvenile, feed them like twice a day though. Anyway, that's about as many memes as my iCloud storage can take. So I hope you learned something and enjoyed this experience.